From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
Tonight on News Hour, PDP NNPP presidential candidate takes campaign to Imo and Kaduna State. Bandits block Gusau and Sadao Road as vigilante kill 15 terrorists in Zamfara. Businesses gradually picking up at Rigasa train station after resumption of service. And away from Nigeria, United Nations Secretary General Guterres condemns killing of 2 Nigerian peacekeepers in Mali. Hello and welcome to the News Hour on Trust Television. I am Ayuba Ile. Thank you for joining. We begin with political stories. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has vowed that the party will reclaim the Imo governorship seat in the 2023 general election. Speaking at a campaign rally in Owerri on Saturday, Atiku said that what happened in the state in 2020 was a daylight robbery. Atiku said that Imo had been a traditional PDP state, stressing that all those who won the governorship position in Imo had been PDP loyalists. He said that the party is poised to restore the glory of Imo as a peaceful state by making sure that it brings to an end the banditry that has characterized the state. The PDP presidential hopeful said that he recognized Igbo people as astute businessmen and promised to set aside $10 billion to support business, women and youth in the state.
My brothers and sisters, God bless you. God bless everybody. Your Excellencies, our party leaders, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for me, it is homecoming to Imo again. Do you know why it is homecoming? The first chieftaincy title to be given to me in the Southeast was given to me here in Imo State. One and the number of Ngokbala. This airport, Imo Airport, we dash Imo Airport to the people of Imo, our community, the community to which I belong to, the community that honored me first in the Southeast. That is why, if I am the president, Imo is the presidency. It is your own presidency.
In a similar vein, the presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, has met with party supporters from southern Kaduna and residents of the area. The NNPP presidential candidate also visited Jaba, Kachia, and Jama'a local government areas, where he paid a visit to the Emir of Jama'a, Agong Adara, and Pokham. Kwankwaso, who solicited support for his presidential bid, also opened new offices of the party in the 3 local government areas of the state. And in the nation's capital, Nigerians have been urged to vote for credible leaders that will turn around the fortune of the country come 2023. Supporters of the All Progressives Congress, APC, at the Abuja mega rally of the party said that the party has all it takes to make the country great again, and as such deserves the votes of Nigerians. Kabir Lawal reports.
People from all walks of life today converged in the Federal Capital Territory to come out for the APC presidential rally, adding that all hands are on deck to take the country to greater heights.
I'm sure when he comes, he will continue from where the president stopped. Today, they are narrating what the president did. That Niger bridge, from 90, the government are giving the contract. Do they do the bridge? No. The railway in Wari, do they do it? No. Ibadan to Lagos, do they do it? No.
The Sahel area was desertifying. We were losing a lot of land. The Chad Basin lost thousands and thousands of square kilometers. These are areas that have been taken over by Boko Haram and other terrorists. So if we don't tailor the economy to cater for climate change and other projects like that, then we'll not be able to tackle the problems that we face.
Representative of the presidential candidate of the party, Minister of State for FCT, Ramatu Aliyu, pledged party supporters not to panic and be confident in the 2023 general election.
I want all the leaders, including myself, to work hard, to build more people. If you have not strengthened somebody, the message for you today is, please, wherever you are and you know you are capable, pick somebody that is nobody to make him somebody, to stand with everybody.
Minister of State also said the party needs another chance, adding that if the party wins the election, the unity of the country remains negotiable.
APC needs what? Another chance. We stand on what? Continuity. I am standing before you to say if APC is voted in, Nigeria will be greater because we are building upon that which is better. Baba Buhari said, the unity of this country is non-negotiable. And the party APC stands on that.
Other party members said the party is ready to build on what they have started.
That the only way to success is by collection of your PVC. You have to go back home and mobilize your people to collect their PVC so that on the day of election, they will all be able to vote at the polling units.
As it stands today, the country needs a unifier. A unifier is someone who has his allies across board, someone who is not a tribalistic person, someone who don't believe in his own, someone who believes that the entire nation is his own constituency.
Highlights of the rally includes entertainment from the artist to grace the rally. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, away from political stories, suspected terrorists were said to have blocked the road leading to Ansado Emirate in the Maru local government area of Zamfara State and robbed passengers of their monies and other valuables. The incident was said to have occurred in the early hours of Saturday when some residents were moving soybean to the market. Sources within Magami community along the Ansado road said that the terrorists created a block at about 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. to ease their robbery. They, however, said that the terrorists did not kill nor abduct anyone, but only carted away valuables as a result of the swift intervention of the military. Earlier, the armed men attacked Maigoge, a community west of Ansado, but met a fierce resistance from the vigilantes who overpowered and killed about 15 of the armed criminals. The Zamfara State Police Command could not confirm the incident but said that it is investigating the situation. The Kaduna State government has commended the Nigerian Air Force for the rescue of 7 Chinese nationals who were kidnapped in June by terrorists in a neighboring state. According to a report from the Nigerian Air Force, Special Forces under the 271 NAV detachment conducted the operation in Kampaning, Doka and Gwaske areas of Birnimgwari local government area and successfully rescued the 7 expatriates who have been conveyed to a secure facility. Governor Nasir El-Rufai expressed satisfaction at the report and commended the Chief of Air Staff as well as Commander and men of the 271 NAV detachment for the operation. Gunmen have murdered the Labour Party Imo State House of Assembly candidate for Onumo local government area, Christopher Elegu. The Imo State Police Command spokesperson Mike Abatam said that the incident happened in the early hours of Friday at Elegu's country home in Umucheke community of Inumo Council. The assassins, he said, set his home ablaze after killing him and also burnt down his vehicle and other valuables. He said that the Imo State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Barde, has ordered an investigation into the unfortunate incident and has also activated all tactical units of the command to go after the assailants for possible arrest and apprehension. In a reaction, the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has condemned what he described as the targeted killing of the party's House of Assembly candidate in Imo State, Christopher Elegu. Elegu was killed by assailants in the early hours of Friday in his home, with the attackers burning his vehicle and other properties. According to Peter Obi, the development violates the spirit of civility. A few weeks back, gunmen also killed a Labour Party women leader in Kaduna, Victoria Chintex. Now, gunmen on Saturday set ablaze the building of the Imo State High Court in Olu, reportedly burning part of the structure housing sensitive documents. The development is coming few days after some gunmen attacked the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Owerri, which the police said was carried out by the indigenous people of Biafra. It was gathered that the complex is housing both the High Court and a magistrate court. A staff member of the judiciary who spoke on condition of anonymity said that all the files in the building were burnt. Olu branch chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, Barnabas Munoye, who confirmed the incident, described it as unfortunate. Spokesperson of the Imo State Police Command, Mike Abatan, who also confirmed the incident, said that the police had launched an investigation into the incident. Victims of the fire outbreak that gutted a warehouse which serves as a hub for petrol black marketers in Yola have lamented the losses suffered as a result of the fire outbreak from the storage facility. The victims, most of whom are vehicle mechanics, said that they lost their sources of livelihood as a result of the inferno. They therefore called for an urgent intervention from government and private individuals. Salis Lawan reports.
The inferno, which occurred on Wednesday, destroyed over 350 drums of hooded petrol and diesel stored in the warehouse. Victims of the incident explained that as the result of the fire outbreak that gutted the illegally operated black market inside, they lost properties valued at millions of naira.
6 years now. Nobody knew that they are doing such business. Yeah. I initially asked them, they said that they are doing storage. The storage they are doing here, they store rice, beans, storage down on rent. It was that day the thing happened. We knew that they are doing black market. They are storing fuel here. And they once something like that catch fire, very flammable, it cannot withstand it.
For those that are able to help us, because the people concerned did not even come here to condole or to please with us or to sympathize with us that this is what happens to you people. We are sorry for what happened. So nobody came to us here. So if there is anybody who is willing to assist or help us, we are starving. Sincerely speaking, all of us, the technicians of this area, we are starving. And the second challenge that will come up is those vehicles that were burned. They don't mind whoever burned the vehicle. We will be held responsible for the missing and the burned vehicles. So please, the government should come to our aid. We are in a very serious trouble. We need the government assistance or anybody who is there for us, please.
The incident reportedly occurred after a spark from the loaded drums while a tanker was offloading some of the product. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
The federal government on Friday evacuated 196 stranded Nigerians in India back to the country. The evacuation exercise was coordinated by the National Emergency Management Agency and other relevant agencies. The returnees were received by a reception team led by the NEMA and other relevant agencies at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The returnees were advised to be law-abiding by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, who was represented by Deputy Director in the Ministry, Suleiman Abubakar. The minister said that the token provided by the federal government was meant to support the movement of the returnees back home. The returnees thanked the federal government for their safe evacuation and also appealed that they be engaged in productive ventures that will help them be useful to the country. Now, 2 weeks after the resumption of the Kaduna-Abuja train service, businesses are resurfacing at the Rigasa train station. While business owners are smiling to the banks, passengers are groaning over technical hitches in booking tickets. The report.
Nigerian Railway Corporation had suspended the service after attacks by terrorists in April, leading to the paralysis of business activities at the Rigasa train station. With the resumption of train services, business activities are resurfacing at Rigasa train station. It's been 2 weeks now since the train service resumed. The turnout of passengers is good. At the beginning, the turnout of passengers was low, but gradually the number increased. Sometimes the taxis are scarce due to large numbers of passengers demanding for our service.
Alhamdulillah, it's picking up. It's picking up. I can attest to that. It's picking up. And we are more hopeful it shall be better. First, the number of passengers, they are increasing. You know, many people don't know that the train has resumed, but gradually they are getting aware that train service has resumed. So the numbers is increasing.
With the resumption of train service, the Railway Corporation introduced an authentication system for passengers' identification. However, passengers are groaning over some challenges they encounter while booking tickets either online or at the train station. Mustapha Musa is a passenger. He narrates his ordeal. Getting ticket is sometimes difficult due to network challenges on the platform of the NRC, coupled with slow phase of ticket booking at the station. Besides, people also have issues with their national identification number, with which, without it, they cannot get their ticket. Sometimes, people in large numbers miss their train due to these challenges.
Bello Musa reporting for Trust TV News.
Now, Muhammadu Buhari is a man of many parts: officer, gentleman, former minister, former governor, former head of state. The current president of Nigeria has played a role in many of the most historic events in the nation's existence. As he clocks 80, Kehinde Amodu zeroes in on the man himself, as seen from the lenses of persons he has interacted with down the years. Here's that report.
President Buhari was born on December 17, 1942, and named after the 9th century Persian Islamic scholar Muhammad al-Buhari. He was about 4 years old when his father died and was thereafter raised by his mother and elder brother. It was his elder brother, Malam Dauda Daura, that started him on the path to education.
Muhammad Buhari was my classmate right from elementary school. That was in 1952 or 52. He was brought by his brother Malam Dauda Daura, Dilban Daura at that time, to my Adua. At that time, we were in elementary 2.
My relationship with President Muhammad Buhari started far back to 1953, when we first met in boarding primary school.
Schooling also led him to the military, where his career in public service began. His rich portfolio eventually led to his first stint as head of state between 1983 and 1984. That didn't work out, and to his credit, he was able to serve as the chairman of the Petroleum Trust Fund during the Abacha years, untainted by that regime's pariah status. Buhari came away from that stint with the Megaskia persona. Armed with that, Buhari began his advance on Aso Rock, seat of the Nigerian president, in 2003. As at 2015, he had run for the presidency for 13 straight years, competing against all presidents that had been produced by Nigeria's Fourth Republic. One would have thought the years of failing to land the coveted prize would have changed the essential Buhari persona, but it turns out many of those that work with him say it has not.
He stood out as the honest one. And, translated in politics in Hausa, mai gaskiya. So, nobody is 100%. But also the gift of honesty, of moral rectitude, is one that is very rare among people.
He had a good training. He was raised up by his senior brother, who is old enough to be his father, a school teacher, a renowned school teacher, a disciplined teacher. So he was initially disciplined, right from home. And up to now, I don't think Buhari changed.
What is it that I don't like for the president? I find it difficult because he has not changed. His values remain the same. His passion and commitment to Nigeria remains unchanged.
What is the Buhari persona? What in the former army general would inspire a large movement of over 10 million people to follow Mai Gaskiya? The question many ask is, has Mai Gaskiya stayed true to the fervent belief of the Talakawa that he is indeed the trusted one? Critics say his legacy would be nepotism in government, inability to stem insecurity, and seeming indifference to the woes of his people. But his close associates point out that that seeming indifference is calm in the face of crisis.
But this is a man who remains unruffled, unperturbed, and when every other person is putting his head, he keeps his. And I marvel at his strength.
He is still the same trusted Buhari that people knew. Eating the same kind of food, wearing the same kind of clothes, and just going about his life in that very simple and unobtrusive way.
Critics are also uncomfortable with his reluctance to change non-performing aids.
Mr. President believes very much, at times too much, in the goodness of man. Mr. President, when he trusts you, he expects you to do the right thing. And when you fail to do so, it pains him.
People sometimes have a wrong impression of him, seeing that sometimes, he is loose or he doesn't take action quickly or whatever it is. Well, people will think it's a weakness, but it's not a weakness. I mean, any rightful and honest and sincere person would not like to take any decision without verifying. Or any good person thinks people are like him.
As President Muhammadu Buhari celebrates his 80th birthday, he still remains one of Nigeria's leaders who have ruled the country as both military head of state and civilian president. If those that have closely associated with him are to be believed, his legacy after May 29, 2023 will remain his simplicity and love for humanity. Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching the News Hour on Trust Television. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at how high cost of living delays marriages. Details of this and more after the break.
Ba a iya sutura da abinci jin daɗin duniyar mu ya ƙare. Za ka iya more rayuwarka da kayan alfarma na kamfanin Vento Furniture kamar su Ladi Corner Sets, Escape Sofa Sets, Acadia Sofa, Piano Sofa Sets, Sofa Corner Sets, Vento Sofa Sets. Sannan kuma za ku iya saka ƙayatattun gadaje na alfarma a ɗakunan kamar su Gold Cream Bedroom Sets ko kuma ku wadata falon ku da kujeru na alfarma irin su Sare Royal Set da Acadia Dining Sets. Ofishoshinku kuwa za ku iya saka manya-manyan kujeru na kece raini domin walwala da jin daɗin ku da abokan hulɗa. Kamfanin Vento Furniture ya tanadar muku gadajen bacci na yara masu inganci, kayan ɗaki irin na angwaye da amare har ma da sarakuna. Muna da shagunan mu a gurare kamar haka: 79 Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos; 7A Azikiwe Road, Port Harcourt; 25 Glover Road, Ikoyi, Lagos; Shop U1 Jabi Lake Mall, Abuja; da kuma 4330 Walker Road, Windsor, Ontario ga mazauna ƙasar Canada. Vento Furniture, mun zagaye ko'ina.
Your entry into the political landscape of the country has left indelible footprints for generations to come. You are a clear standout among Nigerian leaders, past and present, and represent the best across the world. The history of Nigeria cannot be accurate if you do not occupy a central part. From 1962, when you joined the Nigerian Army, you have remained among a beacon of abiding moral code with a shining badge of integrity. My family and I join millions of your admirers in Nigeria and around the world to celebrate your 80th birthday today. May Allah continue to keep you in good health for greater service to our dear country. Amin. Sign, Alhaji Nasiru Haladu Danu, Dan Amanar Dutse, Tafida Baba Daura. Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secured are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Really, if you look at English squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back. You're watching the News Hour on Trust Television. Here's a look at the top stories again. PDP NNPP presidential candidates takes campaign to Imo and Kaduna State. Bandits block Gusau Dansada Road as vigilante kill 15 terrorists in Zamfara. Our story just reaching us says that terrorists loyal to notorious terror kingpin Lawali Damina have killed at least 20 people from Randa community in Maru local government area of Zamfara state. The terrorists also kidnapped the entire male residents of the community over missing rifles. Locals and a traditional leader said that the terror leader abducted the male members and children of Randa after they denied knowledge of the whereabouts of 2 rifles that allegedly went missing in the community. The rifles were said to belong to 2 fighters of the terror kingpin who were killed by another gang member after they clashed over a girl in the community. Randa, which is under Mutumji ward, is in the Dansado Emirate and sits at the edge of Kuyambana forest in the ungoverned boundaries with Katsina, Kaduna, Kebbi and Niger State. Zamfara State Police is yet to confirm the incident. Now, moving on, the family of a middle-aged man that was shot dead by a policeman in Ikuru, Osun State over Obaship tussle has called on the state government to investigate the incident and ensure justice for the family. The family appealed to Governor Ademola Adeleke to ensure fairness in the selection process of new Oba for the town to ensure justice and equity. Hamid Oyegbade reports.
Following the death of the former Akirun of Ikirun, Oba Rauf Adedeji, the process of filling the vacant stool commenced. It was the turn of Boleru ruling house to produce the new Akirun in line with the rotational procedure among the three ruling houses in the town. But the past administration of ex-governor Adegoyega Oyetola announced the appointment of a prince from the Obara family as the new Akirun. This caused unrest in the town as indigents prevented the imposed Oba from entering the palace. On November 23rd, a prince from Boleru ruling house, Lukman Olatunji, was shot dead during a crisis. Addressing a press conference at the family house in Ikirun, the head of family, Olawale Olatunji, said the reversal of the appointment of the new Oba by Governor Ademola Adeleke was in order. We are sad about the death of our son. We are united in Boleru ruling house. It is our turn to produce the next Akirun. We want the best for Ikirun. Some of the princes from the Boleru ruling house called on the state government to arrest and prosecute the policeman that shot and killed Lukman.
The former process, the kangaroo way of doing things has been reversed, and we are very happy for it. And we pray that the thing is going to be taken to a logical conclusion as they are going now.
Firstly, our child, which they kill anonymously, we want the government to help us about it, to let them find justice about it.
The whole world knows it, the whole town knows it. They know who Boleru is. All the kingmakers and everyone in this Ikirun, they know the right place, who Boleru is. So there's no any other thing to worry about in selecting the next king for this ancient town.
The palace of Akirun of Ikirun remained shut and deserted as people of the town await the appointment of the new Oba by Governor Ademola Adeleke. Amit Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
The rising cost of food items like rice and chicken in Benue State has raised concerns among Christian families as they prepare to celebrate Christmas. Jimmy Azande reports that some of them are apprehensive that if the prices keep rising, they may not have a Merry Christmas due to limited purchasing power.
Historically, the week preceding Christmas Day is usually characterized by heavy shopping. But this is not the case this time, as the economic situation in the country has brought untold hardship to families. The prices of staple foods like rice and chicken are no longer within the reach of the average families.
Bag of rice, local rice, before, as of last week, local rice goes for 30,000. As of yesterday, it goes for 33,500 as of yesterday.
When you enter Samakedi, the prices of things will added money. So if you go to the chicken side, the price of chicken are very high. They are very costly. If you price one chicken, some they are selling 6,500, 7,000, 5,000. Even the 5,000 is very small. The prices are very high. Things are very costly.
It's because of the feed. The feed is very, 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 very high, and that is the reason why chicken man they costly like this.
While traders are complaining of low patronage, consumers are lamenting the hike in prices.
Christmas celebration, it is not very easy for everybody to celebrate Christmas as it used to be, because of the financial handicap that is encroaching almost every family in the country. So like myself, initially I used to prepare for Xmas, prepare goat, prepare some fowl, give fowl to my parents and to the less privileged. But now it is very difficult for me to do that.
With issues like non-payment of salaries, pensions and gratuities, fuel hike and poor use from the farms this season in the state, the residents are hopeful that the election year will usher in changes that will bring back the good old days.
Still on the cost of food, one of the food items that has experienced a surge in prices is Irish potato. This, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, is a direct impact of the rise in food inflation, which rose to 24.13% in November 2022 from 23.72% recorded in October. Chama Kamwafo visits some markets in the city and reports on how traders are coping with the surge, as well as how it has affected its consumption. The report.
Globally, Irish potato, also known as potato or white potato, is a common staple in many homes as it can be boiled, fried, or even baked. Recently, it has witnessed an almost 100% increase in price. Although it is called Irish potato, it is actually native to the Andes Mountains of South America. Here in Nigeria, Irish potato is grown mostly in Plateau State, which is presently not left out in the hike. In some markets in Abuja, some traders said the staple has become quite expensive, adding that customers are losing interest.
The price of Irish now is very high, because the way we buy it before, it even multiplied almost 3 times. We used to buy before 40 something, 50 something, but by now we used to buy it 90 something. We buy Irish potato now 95,000. We sell it 5,000 something, or we sell 4 something. So people are still very difficult to buy. So when we even tell them the price, they will just run. They will not even price it.
Some of the Irish are sosai.
Honestly, Irish potato is not very expensive. We used to buy a bag between 40 to 50,000 naira, but the new one is now up to 100,000 naira per bag. We sell the rubber at 5,000 to 6,000. Out of all the food items, the cost of Irish potato is high. Our customers lament when they come to buy, so fewer people buy it now. We want the government to do something because the cost of living is on the increase, and we need the solution as soon as possible.
Consumers of the staple are shocked at the astronomical increase in the price. They said they've had to forego the food item.
I came to the market actually to buy a few things, and I said, let me just buy Irish potato just for my kids. I asked for a basket, a small dustbin basket. They said 5,000. I was like, are you serious? He said yes. And the Irish were so small. I said I wasn't going to buy. I'd rather go for sweet potato, which is a bit cheap. The last time I bought was 2005. Yes, the last time I bought like 2 months ago actually, like 2005.
I can't buy Irish potato 5 now because consider the situation we are now, everything is too expensive now. To eat Irish potato is not to buy, it's not compulsory. When you get the money, you will go and buy it 1 basket, 2 baskets, but now it's too expensive. I'm looking for money to buy like other food items.
Across the FCT, consumers are hopeful that the price of Irish potatoes will revert to what they can easily afford to enable them enjoy their favorite staple. Chama Kamwafo, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, still talking inflation, Nigeria's inflation rate has retained an upward trajectory, hiking once again for the 10th consecutive month. The consumer price index rose to 21.47% from 21.09, an average of 5.87 percentage points in 10 months from 15.6% in February. As the CPI continues to increase and diminish the financial stability of many Nigerian citizens, the vulnerable are facing harsher conditions. Chamung Debeng has more.
As the high inflation rate continues to push up the cost of goods and services, Nigerians find themselves struggling to afford basic necessities for their survival. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria currently has 133 million individuals who are multidimensionally poor, many of which are widows and persons living with disabilities. Many of them lack proper employment and find it difficult to cater for themselves and their families. The Ambassador at Large of the International Human Rights Commission, Dr. Hezekiah Duru, speaks on empowering the vulnerable.
They want to be self-sufficient. They want to be independent. Let government come to their aid to empower them. You know, when inflation goes high, price of things goes high. So what it means now, it will be difficult for them to even buy one cup of rice because inflation is high. So and they can only be able to cope when they are empowered. So we please, not only the government, even the rich among us, let's find a way to empower these vulnerables.
The waning strength of the naira against the dollar, coupled with the constant hike in the CPI, has placed tighter constraints on persons living with disabilities, as the cost of medical care has become almost unaffordable to many of the over 20 million Nigerians living with disabilities.
The disability act that we have is only those who have mental disability that the law said that they will have free medication. Then other persons with disabilities they don't really have opportunity of having free medication. Many of them still find it difficult going to the hospital, to receive health care.
Nigeria is home to about 15 million widows from different social and educational backgrounds. Following the death of their partners, many turn to petty trade to cater for their families. However, with the high cost of goods and services, many are struggling to accomplish this.
Did they go to market to buy something? People that go to market, they have money. If the price of rice is 30,000 today, tomorrow will be 35. Next morning. We know that they are not going. They don't have that type of money, madam. Some are selling granite or Uber. Some the capital they have in her life is 2,000 or 1,000.
Both widows and persons with disabilities are calling out to the government to empower them and create a platform for inclusivity, which will make them feel like a part of the society. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Arewa Consultative Forum has faulted the introduction of the cash withdrawal limits by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Apex Bank recently announced a policy of restricting individual cash withdrawals from commercial banks to 20,000 naira per day and 100,000 naira for a week, or 500,000 naira in the case of corporate bodies. But reacting to the development, the body's Secretary General Murtala Aliyu warned that the insistence of the CBN on implementing the wholly unrealistic policy would lead to a catastrophic collapse of the informal sector of the economy. In a statement on Friday, he said this considering the fact that transactions in commodity markets, particularly in rural areas, are entirely cash-based. The group also noted that Nigeria has the lowest financial penetration in Africa, where over 38 million adults do not have access to banking services, with women, rural dwellers, micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, and northern Nigeria being among the most disproportionately excluded. It noted, however, that he asked the CBN to allow a level playing field for a wide range of financial providers and encourage partnerships between them. Eligible bachelors in Bauchi have attributed their delay in getting married to the present cost of living, among several others. Speaking to Trust TV in Bauchi, some of them decried the pressure they are subjected to as a result of being unmarried. Adam Imam reports.
Marriage to many is an honorable institution, but it comes with several responsibilities one of which is catering for family needs. Cost of living is one of the major problems responsible for delayed marriages. As a man, you must work hard to sustain the marriage. If not, crisis may erupt in your house. It is not every woman that is able to help the family, so the pressure on men becomes too much. That's why many are still unmarried. Two things are involved. First is the lack of job for many young persons. They don't want to be productive. They only want to be following politicians instead pursuing self-reliance. Second is the cost of marriage. Two things are involved. First is the lack of job for many young persons. They don't want to be productive. They only want to be following politicians instead pursuing self-reliance. Second is the cost of marriage items presented from the bride's family. While narrating his experience, Suleiman Abdulmuminu says beyond the economic situation, peer groups contribute to frictions between couples.
Don't know what is going on, and the lady took out to that place. Presently, her mother tell me that they are the one who tell that lady I'm not good, so I'm not a kind of person that lady to marry. So that's the current problem I'm facing. So at least to me, I would say the issue of friends, ladies' issue of friends is the major problem that make them, at least that causing them problem.
The rise in domestic violence is also another factor that creates fear among eligible bachelors, who attribute it to lack of proper care and mutual love between couples.
Most couples understand that they don't know even what is love. They love the lack of understanding of what is love. How can I, as a woman, love my husband? What is the care that a husband I can give to my wife?
He advised intending couples to always understand each other prior to tying the nuptial knot to avoid frictions. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
The governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, has declared open the annual National Quranic Recitation Competition organized by the Center for Islamic Studies of the Usmanu Danfodio University in Gusau, with a call on Muslims to continue upholding the virtues of Islam. Governor Zulum who chaired the occasion, described the efforts of the Zamfara State Governor in hosting this year's competition in spite of biting economic realities as a commendable one. The report.
The 37th edition of the annual National Quranic Recitation Competition features participants from 28 states of the Federation who are expected to participate in the week-long spiritual exercise. Governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, noted that the drive towards promoting the Quran among the youth is an indication of the state governor's commitment to the spiritual well-being of the state. Governor Zulum believes that the myriad of challenges currently facing the country can be surmounted if Muslims embrace the power of the Quran.
The importance of the Holy Quran has been highly acknowledged by all mankind. To the Muslim, it is a book of guidance. Especially scientists have over the years also acknowledged the uniqueness of the Holy Quran as not only being positive and practical, but also harmonious with human nature, and therefore devoid of contradictions existing in other religions and ideologies. The challenges posed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to mankind and jinns remains unchallenged.
In his remark, the chief host, Governor Bello Matawalle, outlined the importance of the competition, which he, among other things, said include the translation of the words of Allah into practice.
In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, may the peace and blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon our noble Muhammad, the seer of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, companion, and all those who follow his teaching till the day of judgment.
The Vice-Chancellor of Usman Danfodio University, Lawal Bilbis, commended the Zamfara State government for hosting this year's competition, which he said is an indication of the readiness of the state to continue uplifting the status of the Book of Allah.
All thanks and praises are due to Allah, the most beneficent
the most merciful, creator and cherisher of mankind, the heavens and the earth, and all that is within and between them. May his blessings, peace, salutations be upon the best of mankind, the seal of his prophets and messengers, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
The guest speaker, Sheikh Ibrahim Ahmad Makari, harps on the need to protect the centers of Quranic studies across Islamic communities in the country and advocated for compulsory contribution to an endowment fund for the upkeep of such Islamic centers as well as for the vulnerable by all state governors. Professor Makari also advocated for the certification and the drawing and adoption of a modern curriculum for the informal and semi-formal Quranic centers spread across Islamic communities in the country.
Now, away from Nigeria, U.S. Secretary General Antonio Guterres has strongly condemned Friday's attack on a police patrol of the United Nations mission in Mali, which killed 2 Nigerian peacekeepers and injured 4 others. An unidentified gunman shot and killed 2 officers, including 1 woman, from the United Nations multidimensional integrated stabilization mission in Mali, while they were on patrol near the city of Timbuktu, according to mission head El Ghassim Wane. Through a statement, the UN chief extended his deepest condolences to the bereaved families, as well as the government and the people of Nigeria. Guterres, who recalled that the attacks targeting UN peacekeepers may constitute war crimes under international law, called on the Malian authorities to spare no effort in identifying and swiftly bringing the perpetrators of the attacks to justice. Mali has been grappling with an armed rebellion since 2012, with thousands of people killed and hundreds of thousands fleeing their homes. Now, opposition supporters have staged a rally in suburb east of Liberian capital Monrovia. The demonstrators are demanding government action in the face of increasing hardship. An opposition party, the collaborating political parties, blamed President George Weah for the attacks launched against one of the organizers of the event. We'll now take a look at sports updates now. The belief that golf is only an adult elitist sport was recently proven to be untrue as junior golfers gathered at the TYB Golf Course, Mambila Barracks, Abuja, for the Junior Golf Open Championship. Adeni Adishafe has more.
The maiden edition of the 2022 Junior Golf Open Championship has teed off in Abuja. The championship, which is holding at the TYB Golf Course Mambila Barracks, Abuja, is aimed at using golf to empower young minds and also promote peace and quality education among junior golfers. 10-year-old Alma Unya, who was among those to take the course for action, encouraged junior golfers to sustain their interest in golf, which she said is worthwhile.
I've been playing golf for like 6 years. It's really fun and they should try playing it.
Lady captain of TYB Golf Club, Susan Michael, says the event will be sustained and improved.
Yes, it's going to be a sustainable event. From next year, we're going to do better off than this first one. You know, something from the starting. At least, you know, we learn from, we check a lot of mistakes and then amend it.
An elated parent, Brigadier General Gariki Shipi, retired, who is also the patron 1808 Foundation, expressed joy for witnessing the event, which he said will make room for future talents in golf.
It's really heartwarming seeing not only my child but all of these lovely kids here, you know, coming, having fun and interacting with each other. It's the usual story we hear all over, and that's why we, you know, are coming up with programs like this to make it.
All right, now Croatia this Saturday outclassed Morocco to clinch the 3rd place prize at the Qatar 2022 World Cup. The Lacto Dalig side were runners-up to France for 4 years ago and confirmed their status as one of the elite footballing nations with another 3rd place finish. We now have joining us live from Qatar, Jide Olushola, Daily Trust sports correspondent, who joins us for an update on that. Thank you so much for joining us, Jide, on News Hour tonight.
Yeah, good evening. How are you there?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. Now, Morocco was on the verge of making yet another history at the World Cup, but Croatia beat them 2-1. You were there at the stadium. What was the mood like for the Moroccan fans there?
Of course, the Moroccan fans were quite, even though they wanted to win the third place match, but then the God of Soccer had better ideas for Croatia. I will recall they played during the group stage where Morocco topped the. But they wanted to leave the tournament on a high note because they got the 2 goals in the first half, and that built the pace of the Moroccans. But then, by and large, the Moroccans, they proved themselves, did what they could do best, and I'm sure they to see how they can improve on the success. But this is very, very successful for them as a nation and for Africa as a whole. About the mood in the stadium, they're not too sad and they're not too happy, but they're satisfied with what they've achieved, because nobody expected an African country to get to that particular stage and play the third place. So if they have gone beyond that, it would have been an extra bonus for them. But by and large, it was a very good draw for them, and it was not so. No, they're not sad at all. They're not sad, but they wanted more.
Okay.
They got.
All right. So, what are the expectations as Argentina take on France in the final tomorrow?
That's a big one, and it's going to be a very, very electrifying moment tomorrow. Because Messi is the main person, the main star. In fact, as of today, I understand that all the Adidas store across Doha, across the world, they're all empty because they've all bought Lionel Messi's jerseys, number 10 jersey. And fans are not actually following Argentina. They're actually following. This is the main attraction, and of course, they will throw their weight behind Argentina tomorrow evening against France. If France against Morocco, the fans were for Morocco against France. So it's expected for France they will not receive a warm reception tomorrow against Argentina. So all points towards Argentina tomorrow for them to win the World Cup. That's just because they have all the support right now from the fans, including myself. And I'm
all right. Well, thank you so much, Jide Olushola, Daily Trust Sports correspondent there. Do take care.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, that wraps up the news hour for tonight. In case you have missed, you can always catch up across all our social media platforms and also watch us live on YouTube. My name is Ayuba Ile. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.